Good morning. So it is 5:05 a.m. Absolutely exhausted, and I'm late for a flight. So I'm a little bit too tired to explain what's going on today. It's very exciting, but we're gonna rewind the clock and have yesterday's Ashton gonna explain to you what's going on. So let's go.
Alright, so today we are going on a field trip. So for all cinematic purposes, I am late to a flight, so we're going to make this very, very quick. I'm taking you guys on a little bit of a field trip. It's going to be kind of exciting because we're flying to Seattle to shoot a wedding. I'm going to teach you guys how to make a very aesthetically pleasing cinematic love story. It's going to be very informative, half vlog. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. Alright, so that's all I have to say. Let's go straight into the cinematic sequence.
Departing passengers, attention please.
Alright, so tip trick number one. It's not really wedding related, but it's just travel related. If you're a videographer and you travel, you need to get a media pass. A media pass has saved me so much time with traveling because before they'd make me take all my gear out on the belt at TSA, they check everything individually, they go through my bag. When you have a media pass, majority of the time, you will be able to zip right through those lines. People will have more respect for you, more respect for your gear. A lot of times they want to put your gear underneath, and if you have one of these, you can be like, no, I'm a professional videographer. So, first step that you need for traveling and videography is a media pass.
So I've been working hard on some work here, getting caught up. Haven't really shot anything since the rental car. It's been kind of a really tiring day with travel. So I got a shower, about to go to bed. Tomorrow we have the rehearsal dinner. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go to bed, and we'll see you tomorrow. Right now, we're at the rehearsal dinner. Since I'm already here, I'm not doing much, so we're gonna go walking around, and I'm gonna give you the tips that I have for shooting weddings as we explore this church.
We're gonna first have the position where Amy and Alex want you to be.
Alright, so one of my main tips when it comes to wedding videography is shooting either 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. And the reason why is because a majority of my shots, if not all my shots in my wedding videos, are slowed down to a degree. And I usually will shoot the entire thing in 120, that way you can get the super slow motion and you don't have to worry about it possibly being choppy if you slow down too much. Okay, super awkward. So to talk to the camera in front of other people because they just look at you like super funny, like who are you talking to, what's going on? You know, you're just some kid walking around with the camera. Because little do they know, you have a 1 million+ subscribers on YouTube, you know what I mean? We'll get there, guys. So one of my biggest tips for shooting weddings is ISO. So for weddings, you don't want to blow the image out, but you also want to have everything be brighter than it actually is. You want everything to appear a little more dreamlike, a little bit prettier. So I highly suggest shooting it a little bit blown out. And the cool thing is when you shoot in picture profile too, because it's so flat, you're able to do a lot to it in post that you normally wouldn't be able to do if you use one of the presets in the camera. Last night got a little bit hectic. I got a little bit distracted doing other things at the rehearsal dinner, but today's the day of the wedding. And one thing that I cannot stress enough that's really important is if you can be at the rehearsal dinner, that is absolutely awesome. That way you can meet both sides of the family, the mom, the dads, all of that, all the friends. That's just awesome. But if you can't, reach out to the bride and groom, have them send you photos of their parents, of their immediate family, have them tell you who is who, their grandparents, stuff like that. So that way you can get sort of equal representation of everybody at the party, everybody at the wedding, and especially the people who are paying for the wedding. Obviously, you don't want to make the whole thing about them. You want it to be about the bride and groom. It's their day, it's their special day. Anyways, today's the day of the wedding. I gotta go get ready. I gotta go pack up the camera bag because it is about 9 o'clock and I gotta get over there by 10. So I'm gonna go make some espresso and then we're going to go talk about gimbals and then pack up and take off for the wedding. So let's go. A gimbal has honestly changed my life when it comes to filmmaking. You know, this thing is absolutely incredible what you can do. This thing costs about $700, absolutely worth it when you look at other things in the market because a Movi, the DJI products, they're all so large and they all cost thousands upon thousands of dollars, whereas this thing is actually a really good price. So before I got this, I was really set on the DJI Ronin M. Then I talked with my friend Josh and he was like, hey dude, you know, I got a DJI Ronin M. I actually sold mine and I bought a Zhiyun crane. It's like, what's a Zhiyun crane? So I pulled it up and as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, that's insane. Because the cool thing about this is you can hold it by hand and use it as a run and gun sort of thing. These fold up, you have an extra handle, or if you buy handlebars, you know, you can stick those on there and have a monitor mount. So it's just like a Ronin M, but then you also have the run and gun style filmmaking that you can do with this. And I actually prefer shooting with the handle, especially for a wedding, because you're running around with the bride and groom, you're doing a bunch of stuff. And it just is easier to be able to have one hand on the camera, be able to do stuff with your other hand. It's awesome. So what this is this is a 3-axis gimbal. That means it's got a motor here, a motor here, and a motor here. And the amazing thing about that is that you could get incredible Hollywood looking shots because as this is balancing, you can also move this up and down with a little thumb controller back here. So that allows you to get smooth panning shots. You can also hang out of the back of a car, you can ride on skateboards, you can do spinning shots like I love to do for the weddings. So that's honestly one of my favorite shots for a wedding is when you can do the spinning kissing shot. It's just magnificently glorious to see that. And that's all due to this thing right here. Well, and some awesome camera skills by your boy. But almost completely impossible to get it smooth and look good handheld. But yes, when it comes to shooting a wedding, a gimbal is absolutely amazing. It just makes everything feel so much more magnificent. Alright, so I gotta go pack for the wedding. I'm gonna throw this in, I'm gonna go get dressed, and then we're gonna jump back in to the whole tip thing throughout the day. I'm gonna try to bring you guys along as much as I can. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do a whole lot, but we are gonna be doing something pretty darn special tonight. Alright, let's go, let's get dressed, let's get packed up, because I gotta get to that wedding before they start doing hair and makeup and all that, so.
Good morning, guys. Have you ever shot a wedding before? You know exactly how I feel right now. It was a great day. The footage looks absolutely stellar. I got some of the best drone footage I think I've ever got in my entire life. And then we went to the Space Needle, which was freaking awesome. You guys saw that awesome cinematic edit. It was really awesome to look over Seattle and see all the lights and all that. So that was pretty cool. And today we're packing up and we're taking off because we have about 7 hours to just explore and be tourists for the day. It's gonna be pretty fun. So let's go. All right, we are completely packed up. We are leaving the hotel right now, and I think we're gonna go to Pike's Place, which is really cool. If you don't know, it's where the original Starbucks is. So yeah, so we're gonna crank out the next few tips. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. Let's head out to Seattle. My largest tips when it comes to videography, especially weddings, is Red Bull. The urinal light is a shotgun light. Shotgun light's amazing because if you don't have one, because if you have bad audio but have great visuals, nobody's gonna watch your video because we actually register the audio first. And audio is the key to everything. You want good audio, get yourself a shotgun light. Is if they're doing a first look or they're reading letters to each other, definitely shoot that. You can use the audio, you can use the clips, and base all your other clips around it. And that'll be the kind of emotional pinnacle topping point to your video. Do a little more movie-esque like to where you film the actual expressions, but then you have them kind of reenacted a little bit to get some more cinematic shots behind trees, wide shots, this and that. You can blend it all together in the video with the right music peaking to be just absolutely incredible. The coffee person that I am, I just had to come to the original Starbucks. Is a decent wedding documentary, but it's something that pulls on the heartstrings. It's nothing that evokes emotion. It's just a good documentary of what happened and events in order. Your job is to make them relive the actual time, and what you want to do is make it feel better than actually being it. And the emotion is really what makes the video, and that's what's going to set you apart from other wedding videographers. So usually after the service,
the photographer and I will take the bride and groom to a predetermined location where we'll go and we'll shoot and we'll get those awesome slow motion B-roll shots of them kissing and doing certain poses. And if you have a good photographer, the photographer will most likely be posing them and doing what they want them to do. So you can kind of just jump in after they're done taking their photos and doing all that and grab the shots that you need. And you guys, if you can create a good working relationship together, you can easily bounce in and out of each other's shots and get awesome stuff together. There's types of shots that you just absolutely need when it comes to making a wedding video, and I'm gonna tell you each and every one of them. And if you get these shots down with pretty good, camera work, you should be a-okay with your first wedding. The first type of shots you're gonna want are with the bride and the bridesmaids. That's pretty important to get some nice, pretty sun flare coming down through your shots. Get them lined up, get some stuff of them laughing, talking, having fun. That's always really important to kind of sprinkle it throughout there. Next, you want shots of the groom and the groomsmen. That's very important as well. So you can intermix those back and forth. If they're praying over the groom, that's awesome. It always triggers some emotion. Second, if you have a drone, absolutely shoot the drone. Drone shots are an amazing way to up the production quality. Drones nowadays are like $500. You can get a pretty decent one for that. Get one for your professional career. I recommend the Mavic Pro. It's a little more expensive than that, but it is worth every freaking penny. Next, just like the brides or the bridesmaids and the groom with the groomsmen, get shots of the family of both sides. Get them with their family, interacting, their dad crying, anything like that you can just throw in there. It adds so much emotion, just like everything else. People connect with other people. When they see other people get emotional, they get emotional, and that's what you want. And the whole thing with this stuff, it just takes practice. The more and more you do, the better you'll get. It's all in time. Just keep working on it. So we are back at the airport traveling home. I'm at the airport getting ready to fly back. So that concludes today's video. If you apply these tips and tricks to your wedding videos, I have no doubt it will drastically increase your quality of the content you're creating. Your clients will be happier. You're gonna feel better about your own work, and it's just gonna be awesome. So if you create a wedding using my tips and tricks, please leave the link in the comments below because I'd love to see your work. I will see you guys in the next video.